Welcome back to the Crypto Report, everybody, and good morning. I do have a meeting this morning. Very excited. A very great year, guys. Crypto is absolutely going up right now. It's a beautiful time for CRO, for Bitcoin, because today, inflation, guys, that is right. Inflation is getting better. Inflation fell to 3.2% as of this morning. This is breaking news, guys. Very, very exciting. I see some folks jumping into live stream. Welcome, everybody. Good morning. Crypto was cooling off this weekend, okay? It was cooling off a little bit. And, you know, it's something that you should come to understand about this market, right? You get some of the best rallies that you've ever gotten in your life when it comes to cryptocurrency. We had one of those here in the last month. Again, every altcoin, it seems, just went up like 100%. It was beautiful. And then yesterday, we were talking about how, hey, there's some key levels that we got to be careful for Bitcoin and for CRO. This is the extent of my studio right now. Here you go. I've got a semi bar cart with a with a little chart on it right now. I'm still setting up the office in the new studio. This is not the studio. This is the living room. But today, the big story today is that inflation, good morning, car guy, good morning, is down to 3.2%. Now, this is spectacular news, guys, and because of this, the S&P 500. We've been talking about the S&P 500, folks. Smash up the like button if you've been with us through the whole conversation. But the S&P 500 is up about 2% today. Coin is up. Thanks, car guy. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, very excited about the new house, but even more excited that we might be finding some support here. Yesterday for CRO specifically, I was talking about good morning from Greece. Good to see a V for Vendetta from Greece. We got folks from all over the world watching. Some key levels for CRO was down at 6 cents, 8 cents. I was looking at 6.6 cents, 8 cents, and we were kind of spending some time yesterday talking about how long CRO has been trading in those levels, because the length of time that it spends in these levels, bouncing off levels. London, UK, good morning. Mark, good morning. Dr. Crypto, I like that name, Dr. Crypto. Maybe that should have been my name instead of CryptoKip. No, you got Dr. Crypto, that's you. But we're talking about these key levels because it's very, very important. So look at some of this stuff. If you want to understand where crypto is going to go, well, then you got to look at some of these levels. Firewall gets it. He's cheering on CRO. But today, I'm excited because yesterday we kind of left off and we said, look, if Bitcoin can move up, and this is the story we've been using because this is just how crypto works. When Bitcoin goes up, then your altcoins can rally. Now, lately, the altcoins have been rallying more than Bitcoin, but that comes after months where Bitcoin has outperformed the altcoin market. Again, this is something that we talked about consistently on the channel. Craig Stockholm, good to see you. Just finished some work out in the UK, it looks like. I saw a British flag on there at least. But thanks for joining. Yeah, here in the US, Craig, you know what? We actually got inflation getting better. I wonder how it's doing for you over there. Across the pond. Sorry, that's across the pond. I wonder how inflation's doing over there because our Fed wants to get inflation down to a target rate of 2%. Thank you so much, John. I really appreciate that message. And you know what? Seemingly, they're doing a pretty good job. Cryogenics, good morning, Cryo. And this is really good. This is really good to see for a couple reasons. One, your dollar right now, guys, if you're living in the U.S., and here's a perfect example. Look at my new house. It's a mess right now. I promise you guys, I'll show you this thing when it's clean. But this is just one room. It's absolutely a mess. But your dollar, talking about inflation, is going way less far than it used to go. Quick price check. Looks like CRO is moving up. Good to see. Bitcoin's moving up. S&P is still finding its move upward because of this inflation news. Because it's good news. Because the dollar is not going as far for its value as it should be. Look at all these boxes right here, guys. These are all gifts. Okay, these were wedding gifts. These are wedding gifts. And I wouldn't have been able to justify spending money on those gifts because of inflation. Now, because inflation's so bad, maybe I could afford one or two of these boxes. And I say afford, guys, because realistically, I don't like spending a bunch of money on a bunch of things. I like buying properties and Bitcoin. That's what I like to do. I don't like to spend my money on, a $400 steak dinner when I can cook a perfectly good steak on this beautiful Blackstone griddle out here. And no, we're not sponsored by Blackstone. But, inflation has been brutal. You go to the grocery store, you're getting murdered in the grocery store. You're getting crushed in the grocery store. You're hoping to find a sale on meats. And this is what everybody in America is dealing with. You go to the gas pump and you're getting rocked at the gas pump. You're getting rocked at the gas pump right now. And this is what the Fed has been battling. Now, what does this have to do with crypto? Well, it has a lot to do with crypto because back when the pandemic was going down and the Fed started printing a bunch of money, they started devaluing the dollar, okay? Now, I believe that Bitcoin could be a global currency here. And so it always made sense to me that Bitcoin could essentially replace all fiat currencies. I think it can. Personally, I still believe that. I think one day down the road, the king's currency, right? Whatever, the pound or the dollar, these things could be replaced. And maybe they're replaced by CBDCs first, which is coming. But I think that Bitcoin can be your off-ramp. And right now, since inflation was so bad, I think it highlighted the importance of Bitcoin, and so that was very good. And now inflation's getting better, but I think people are starting to decide, where is my money best off? Because the jig is up. We understand the magical money printer now because YouTube, the glories of YouTube. How many of you guys, let me know in the comments, how many of you guys during this bear cycle or even in the previous bull cycle or recently researched how money works? And when I say how money works, it's like how the Fed prints, understanding, going back to when people traded seashells or traded this horse for that horse. How many of you guys looked into that? Because that is my point. A lot of folks out here have started to research into those things and start to understand money more than just this thing that I give a vendor. It's actually a really unique tool, and you can hurt that tool if you print money and devalue your own currency, which is what we've essentially been doing. But today the markets are rallying. Why? Because they're fixing the problem. Now, the Fed what do they do to fix the problem? They raised the interest rates, guys, on credit cards, on this, on that. So what do? They put downward pressure on the economy, essentially. And in the long and short of it, that is the only tool they have to fix inflation. And what we're seeing today is that it is working. And so what you're going to see is a little bit of a rally this morning. Now, this could be short-lived because at the end of the day, who knows? Federal Chair Jerome Powell could come out and say something like this. Well, we're excited about the inflation rate getting down to 3.2%. Our work here at the Fed is far from over. As long as we remain in and then he comes in here with like this really boring statement, and then he'll come in and he'll say, we're not going to stop until our jobs are done. We're not taking the possibility of a rate hike off the table. And then when people hear that again, maybe they get a little bit spooked. Maybe we just keep rallying because this is clearly a good trajectory for inflation. We've been headed in the right direction. Things are looking really good right now. And so let's talk about CRO. CRO coin right now sitting at 9.072 cents. I opened up this app before I started my stream. It was at 9.03 cents. We're moving up right now. Again, I don't have the best situation to look at all my charts right now, so I'm just looking on this handy dandy notebook that I basically got. Right now, Bitcoin, and here are a couple candles for you. Bitcoin is really trying to move up, get past 36. What is this about? 36. If we can get past 36.7, then you know what, guys? I'm looking to see a bigger rally really quick right after that, because what happened here? See these big red candles that kind of bounce right here? Guys, that's when the inflation news came out. As soon as the inflation news came out, the markets just were like, oh, it's time to buy. Oh, totally time to buy. And everybody just started buying. We could get a continuation of this rally, but at the same time, Bitcoin is over exhausted probably, unless we are really starting this full-fledged bear market, which arguably is early. But here's another one that I saw. So yesterday, a lot of people were talking about XRP. Okay? They were talking about XRP because there was some more fake news about BlackRock. I don't know what I was doing with that plant back there. I don't know. I didn't have any coffee this morning, believe it or not. But apparently there was a conversation being had on social media, that beautiful thing, saying that XRP has a trust that's going to be put out by BlackRock. Not true. That was fake news. But what happened? The crypto market rallied. It's a big surprise. No, not a big surprise. Because this is the second time we've seen a fake news story about BlackRock. And, I was not surprised to see that this was fake news. Now, anytime I see a piece of news about BlackRock, I'm going to question if it's real. Everybody uses BlackRock as a good talking point, especially for fake news, because it's the largest asset manager in the world, and they're currently working on a spot Bitcoin ETF, which is true. But one of the other things that we have coinciding with this news about improving inflation right now is the prospect of the SEC having a little bit of a window here in November. Now, people are saying that this is a window where the SEC can approve a spot Bitcoin ETF from November, 13th to November 20. I don't know what the window is because, frankly, I don't care. At the end of the day, a lot of people are trying to convince you out there that there's a specific window in time. And I really think it's media and whales playing whale games, just trying to get the retail investors to buy to play some whale games. But they're trying to convince you that, if basically this SEC window is something that's real, then it must go up and trying to get you in the market. But the thing is there are no absolute deadlines for this until January. For this, I'm talking about the spot Bitcoin ETF approval that the SEC currently has in their hands. There is no specific deadline, real true deadline. And every other story I've seen is so misleading, talking about, here's a window where they could approve all the spot ETFs. Now, they can approve all the spot ETFs at any time. They could do that right now. They could do it today. We could see it this afternoon, guys. And Bitcoin could skyrocket. We could see Bitcoin go up, break its all-time high, and enter a bull market early for all I know, right? If a spot Bitcoin ETF gets approved, but I'll put the warning hat on and say, I do believe that if a spot Bitcoin ETF gets approved, there's a chance that we get a scam wick downward just to kind of wreck a bunch of longs that have been waiting for that moment. There's a lot of people waiting for the news. Mrs. CryptoKip's getting dizzy watching me. Oh, maybe I'm spinning around too much. See, that's good feedback from the wife right there. That's my wife in the chat. But I got to pace the floor, or else I can't keep the thoughts straight, right? But I'm telling you guys, beware of a potential scam wick when the SEC does approve these spot Bitcoin ETFs. But here's what I'm talking about. This conversation going on in the media right now about a specific window where the SEC can approve the spot Bitcoin ETF this week. Don't listen to that, guys. Don't listen to that. Just continue with your strategy. Miles says, let's CRO. I'm excited about CRO right now. So how does CRO continue to move up? Well, yesterday, guys, we bounced off the 8-cent level pretty wonderfully. Juan, I know you like that. CRO to the moon. It's good. It's moving up right now. Matter of fact, let me actually pull up the CRO chart and see what's going on, see if anything's changed in the last 10 seconds, because that's what Bitcoin does, right? It moves up in a matter of seconds. Almost to 9.1 cents now. Okay, good. We are trying to move up even more so. This is really good to see. And it makes sense because this conversation about inflation is just getting better and better. What is my strategy right now? Well, guys, it's interesting because I've lately been focusing on buying Bitcoin and Ethereum. But as we see this bull market continue to heat up, I got to be honest with you. I'm getting a little bit of altcoin fever. And the only cure is more altcoins. Do you know what I'm saying? I got an altcoin fever. I got a fever. And the only cure is more altcoins. You know what I mean? And so I'm going to get some more Bitcoin and Ethereum. But what did we just see happen this month. Mantic, thank you very much. Paul wants me to stop. You know what? Okay, that's a couple requests. Okay, guys, here we go. We'll stop moving. See, I got to get my studio back. How about this? I got like a whole setup here. Boom. This is what you wanted. See, I even have a plant for you now. Smash a like, and you know what? Subscribe if you like that I listen to the viewers. You guys wanted me to be sitting. Here I am, I'm sitting. Mrs. CryptoKip asks so nicely, saying she's getting dizzy. But I got a little fever for altcoins right now, and I'm still going to continue to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. You got it, Paul. Thanks. No, I really appreciate the feedback. I really do want to start picking up on some altcoins because I think that it's time. Now, Best DD says, yo, 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 and seriously, the impression needs some work. You know what? I'll come back on that one, Craig. I can get my Christopher Walken. It's morning. I don't have the vocal cords warmed up, Craig. But I do have an altcoin fever, and I'm looking for some gems. So, if you guys are looking for some big winners in the altcoin market, stick with me. You're going to want to subscribe. I'll tell you guys one altcoin that I just took a little bit of a bigger position on 3 days ago, and I put it out in my private Discord for the Crypto Report channel. I gave you guys a little bit of an alert. Ordinals. Why did I buy the Ordinals protocol? And I'll just give you guys one example of an altcoin and why I bought this one in particular recently. Because one, as much as I want some Corgi AI or some, Bonk or more Solana or, even some XRP, right? Because the XRP case is coming to a close. I felt like those were recently pumped and overdone. Now, Ordinals certainly pumped recently. And so let me be honest with you guys. It went up and I bought it when it was a little bit higher, but I don't really care because I'm not looking to sell this next week. I'm not looking to sell this next month. I'm looking to sell this in I'm looking to sell part of that position in approximately 6 months after the halving when all of a sudden it gets an explosion. Why did I pick Ordinals? Because Ordinals is a great solution for Bitcoin where you can build NFTs on it, you can transcribe, you can create tokens on it essentially. It's its own wallet, and it's for the BRC20 network. I mean, if you don't know what the BRC20 network, well, maybe you heard of the ERC20 network. It's essentially all those tokens you love on Ethereum. Those are ERC20 tokens. There are now tokens on Bitcoin. I don't know if those are going to be huge, but Bitcoin's the biggest crypto out there, and its BRC20 token market cap is so small. I think there's a lot of upside, and so I got a position in the BRC20 token, and that would be Ordinals. I'm looking forward to hunting for more. Some other altcoins that I'm thinking about right now are in the Cronos ecosystem, in the Solana ecosystem, because those are smaller ecosystems. I like some of those dApps and DEXs that have coins associated with them. I'm also looking at metaverse plays like Decentraland and Sandbox, and potentially... I gotta look back at this. I'm not gonna say that one out loud because I gotta look back at it. But I'll be looking at other layer 2, two solutions. I'll be looking at competing chains to Ethereum. Caspa has done a really great job recently, getting some excitement. It's definitely had an incredible year, but tough to want to buy that one because I kind of missed it. Sean Armstrong asks, in your opinion, how long do we have to DCA until things really start pumping? Well, that's the beautiful thing. Great question. That's the beautiful thing. You can keep buying these even when they're pumping, and maybe you don't get a 10x, but you could still get a 2x, So that's something that I'm looking at. Dollar cost averaging for an extended period of time. Realistically, to answer your question a little bit more, I'm going to stop buying crypto probably in sometime in 2025, in the maybe spring. It depends how Bitcoin goes. Now, somebody had a great question on my stream yesterday asking, if Crocoin, as an example, hits $1 before the halving, then does my prediction for Crow change? Yeah, and same goes true for Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these other altcoins that we're looking at. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. Yeah, somebody said, I think, agreed with me on Sandbox. Sandbox last bull market was ripping. Put it on your marker. Look at Sandbox. Research it. Check it out. But yeah, we're on the same page, folks. We're on the same page. So life's good. Life's good. I had my birthday last weekend. I moved into my first home this week. I'm sitting here in my new home. It's empty. I don't have my studio back yet, but I will be getting it back. I got a wonderful wife. I got a wonderful life. I hit my sales quota for my job. I'm gonna go finalize one of these deals. I gotta go here in. I got like 10 more minutes. Craig Stockholm says, "When's Crow halving? Does Crow even have a halving?" I talk about CRO all the time. Somebody let me know in the comments down below. Did I miss something? Is there a Crow halving that I'm not aware of? Because the Bitcoin halving's in March of 2024, and it pretty much that's the real thing that matters. Thanks, Michael. I appreciate the congratulations there. But yeah, guys, I mean, we're about to heat up. We're about to get into a very exciting time. I'm really, really pumped. Paul Shreve is talking about a Crow burn. Crow's been burning. We're going to burn 100 million Crow since we put in that new consensus mechanism, I think. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. But essentially, they changed up the way that the staking yields happen and the way that CRO tokens were burned. With the way that I believe that transactions were validated on the Cronos ecosystem. So that's been a good thing that we've been waiting to kind of see have an effect on Crow. And you could say arguably this massive pump we had was bigger than anybody expected. And maybe the Crow burns are to thank for that in some capacity. There's been a lot of great things that CRO and Crypto.com have done to get this token to move. You know, World Economic Forum, Staples Center turned into Crypto.com Arena, F1 racing partnerships. You've got the UFC. They've got the FIFA World Cup. They've got I don't know how I know all these things. There's 76. I've talked about this, you know, every day. Do you still feel that Crow going to at least $1 is inevitable? Yes. Yes, I really, really do. Especially after the rally we saw the other day. We got the 12 cents like in 2 days. We got the 12 cents. It felt like it was like 2 days. It was like 5 days. But it felt like it was 2 days. It happened seemingly overnight. And the fact of the matter is this, guys, the halving is not until 2024 in March. And even with that, you've still got more time after that. 2024, if the bull market ends before 2024, I'd be shocked. Now, it's not impossible, especially if the spot Bitcoin ETF comes out, the halving comes, and we have this crazy rally, unlike anything we've seen, quicker than it's ever been. Then I wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of cool off. In fact, last bull cycle was a weird one. We had like a double top. It was so strange. And I had never seen that. We saw crypto go up, and then it came down from like $65,000 to $28,000 Bitcoin did. And then from $28,000, it went back up again. And it went up to $69,000 or $68,000. Something like that could happen again. We don't need to just go straight up, hit a peak, and crash. It could be 2 peaks. It could be 3 peaks. It could be just about anything. But it can certainly be... It certainly is going to be something that, in my opinion, melts everybody's faces. These bull markets are incredible. You got a taste of them in this last week. Inflation getting better is certainly a good story for the traditional market. But here's my concern with this conversation about inflation. I'll pivot back to it because, yes, inflation is down to 3.2%. This is great. Here's my concern. The Fed came out in his last FOMC meeting, and he basically said that if the S&P 500 were to rally, he would start to get concerned. He would start to get concerned, and he'd start to feel pressure to put another rate hike in. So as inflation's getting better, traders get more bullish. And if we start breaking out to all-time highs for the S&P 500, then the Fed might need to continue to instill pain on the economy and continue to raising interest rates. What if we double or triple top? Yeah, I don't know. That'd be crazy. Craig, thanks for joining. He's taking a shower. I know how it is. It's all right. See, we get really close. This is you know, we're sharing all our life details in this chat. That's just what we do. I appreciate you, Craig. David says top. Yeah, I mean, well, are you talking about a top right now, or are you saying, you know, we could have a double or triple top? Because are you agreeing with me? Yeah, I mean, we could have a double or triple top. Right now, I don't know if this is a top. Maybe. Let's see right now. It looks like we're getting more green candles. It's good to see. Let's just check it out again. I know you guys don't like me moving around. Yeah, Crow's still hanging in there, doing pretty well, up there to almost 9.1 cents. Oh yeah. maybe we're cooling off. And so here's the thing. Bitcoin's coming down right now a little bit, just a little bit. Because people were, this is the other thing that happens in these, you get a crypto rally, right? And then all of a sudden, everybody starts just throwing money into crypto, all right? What are the odds of this evening, a triple top of this evening? There are no odds for that. We are not going to get we're not going to go back to previous all-time highs this evening. Yeah. Not gonna get an all-time high this evening, but Bitcoin's retracing a little bit because what happens with this crypto market, guys? People get so excited and they start chucking all their money, throwing it in the furnace, like coal in the fire. You know, I'm gonna make a bunch of money. Crypto's rallying, all the altcoins went up 100%, but then they start chucking it in, and now a news story comes out, inflation's getting better, so people bought even more this morning. But the truth is we are due for a pullback, and we kind of had one that was coming this weekend very naturally. It was a good pullback. I was excited about it. We need to turn previous resistances into support. That's the good part about pullbacks. The bad part about pullbacks is the dollar value of your coins go down. But that's okay. That's okay. We're here for the long term. And that's the story, guys. I am here for the long term, so I don't sweat it. I don't freak out. Sorry, I meant to say, what are the odds of this being a triple top from the last bull market? I mean, it's impossible to say. We can't say, David. It's a good question, but you can't say. You can't say. Look, I think that the last bull market was strange. The double top was strange. I wouldn't love to see a double top again. I don't like those games. I just like one old peak, and that's it. You could argue the double top's great because you can make more trades. You can make more money. You took your profit. You saw it start to go back up. Maybe you got back in. Maybe that's too scary. I don't know. But we'll start talking more about profit-taking strategies too. And we'll start talking about the top once we get further away from the bottom. I think that's fair, right? Let's talk about the top more once we get further away from the bottom. And we are. And you could argue we're in a bull market. We got 53 viewers, by the way, and 25 likes. Do me a favor, X out of the chat, smash the like button. If you guys like, I streamed for you guys right after I broke my back sweating and unloading a U-Haul truck and moved into my new place. I still got unpacked boxes. I choose to do these streams because I think crypto's this important. I think a news story every single day is worthy of a conversation, which is why I continue to bring live streams Monday through Friday for you guys. 5 videos a day with my partner on this channel, Black C. Live streams every Monday through Friday. It's been a lot of fun, and I like interacting with the audience, as maybe you've caught on to at this point. We have a lot of fun. We do have memberships on this channel. If you want to become a member and join us on our private Discord, where we're giving some trade alerts, especially as we start to trade more actively, me and Black C, you can check that out in the link in the description down below. But guys, I'm excited. Today's a good day. John says, I need advice on profit taking when a bull run comes. I'm going to stay connected with Kip. Well, I'm glad to hear it, John. Yeah, I'll let you guys know when I take profits. My strategy, let's talk a little bit about profit taking. Let's talk about the dream. Strategy for this profit taking year, when the Bitcoin halving comes and we have a bull market. This house that I'm in right now, my number one goal for this bull market is to pay for this house. I'm going to buy the house with cash. Now, a lot of you guys out there might be saying, you got to keep that debt. That debt's good to have, You can write off your mortgages. You got a studio in there. You're right. But this is a rental income property. That's what this is going to be. This is going to be a rental income property. So I'm going to buy this thing off with cash, get rid of my terrible interest rate, which is like 7.19%. And I'm going to buy a second property, and that's going to be a home. This is a townhome. This is a beautiful home, but it's a townhome. I'm going to buy a home for my wife and, God willing, a beautiful child if we can. We're going to start working on that. TBD for little CryptoKip. Oop, spilling the beans, Mrs. CryptoKip. Sorry. But we're going to be moving up in this world. I want to provide the best life for my family. And one thing that crypto is great at is giving us the opportunity to do that. Work, baby. That's right. We're working. We're working hard. I got to go to work here in a bit. But we're going to take some profit in crypto. We're going to pay for this house. We're going to buy a real estate investment property. And if I can get away with those two things alone, that'd be great. I'd like to buy a car as well. If I can get away with those two things alone, that'd be great. Now, if I get filthy, stinking rich from this, and, we all do, then maybe we'll just all buy, Lambos and cruise ships and yachts and dream homes and real estate investment properties. Who knows? But I like to try to stay conservative because it's really easy to get overly bullish in this market. It's really easy to just get too excited. I'll take a new car, says Miss Crypto. She needs a new car. We're going to get Mrs. CryptoKip a new car. Yeah, so it's an ongoing discussion. See, that's actually my wife in the chat. We've actually got her here. Have a crow party, Kip. That would be a lot of fun, John. I would love to do that. That would be a lot of fun. All right, guys, I got a jet. I got some work to do. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Sorry if I made you guys dizzy with some of that today, but it was fun. I do enjoy these streams. I always have a lot of fun with it. I'm going to keep working on getting my studio set up this week. Bear with me, guys. It's going to take me a little bit to get it set up. I got a lot to do. It's crazy time. Everybody, I appreciate you sticking with me. That's all I got in this one. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you next time, folks. Don't forget, as always, to DCA, HODL. And, of course, I'll see you next time. Peace, y'all.